August is here, and so is the heat, dust, bit of wildfire smoke, a couple chances for storms as well. Let's talk about it. And what about the tropics? And this Monday, except it's not Monday, how about this Thursday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup? Good morning. It's Thursday, the 1st of August, 2024. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Boldy and Chief David Reimer. Don't know why it felt like a Monday, but go with it. I guess it is the 1st of August, but yeah, it's going to be toasty today across the state. Upper level heat dome is intensifying and it is still in close proximity, which means for some, yeah, it's going to be quite toasty as we get into this afternoon, but we also do have a few chances for storms to talk about. Let's take a look at the high-res rapid refresh model for today, tonight, into Friday. You can see storms in the Panhandle looking likely later this afternoon into Friday morning. You can see even across parts of Oklahoma as we get into tomorrow, a weak boundary of sorts shifting south of the Red River into West Texas, Northwest Texas, Texoma, even parts of North Texas with maybe some increased cloud cover, maybe a few isolated to widely scattered showers and storms. You can see that this model does bring another round of precipitation into the Panhandle late Friday evening into Saturday morning. Otherwise, you could see maybe a couple of showers tomorrow afternoon, evening, North Texas, Northeast Texas. It's not a high confidence element of the forecast, but hey, if it happens, good. Very localized downpours, but hey, it'll drop your temperatures down into the upper 70s and 80s. Otherwise, a bit of cloud cover tomorrow morning in southeastern portions of the state, with most of the afternoon pop-up showers and storms remaining off the coast in the Gulf of Mexico. Overall, we're not looking at a lot of rain out of this activity. Some of you in the Panhandle, if you end up under one of these slow-moving storms tonight or tomorrow, you could pick up an inch or two of rain pretty quickly, but again, it's going to be a very limited impact event spatially. Fire weather conditions over the next few days across the state. We had a 1,000-acre wildfire northwest of Paducah in west central Texas yesterday afternoon and evening. We're looking at another day of moderate to high fire danger, according to the Texas A&M Forest Service, for today, tomorrow, into Saturday. Across really the western half of the state, we continue to look at relatively low fire danger ratings across the eastern half of the state, thanks to increased moisture in July and just, well, different fuel types. It takes longer for the trees to dry out than, the brush. As we take a longer term look at the forecast from the global forecast system, as we go through Saturday, northern half of the state, maybe some pop-up showers and storms in proximity of that stalled boundary. Not a lot of rain, but hey, you know what? Some rain is better than none. Sunday, maybe a couple of storms. Southeastern half of the state, it looks like. Again, we're going to have to see where that boundary sets up. But yeah, we could see some storms this weekend with locally heavy rainfall, gusty winds, frequent cloud-to-ground lightning. As we get into next week, you could see it looks like we're going to mostly dry back out again. South to southeasterly winds return to the state. And, well, just typical August weather. We do note, according to this model, we're also not going to have any tropical mischief trying to attack us, which is always a beneficial thing when we're talking about August. But we'll have to take a look at the tropics in just a moment. Upper air pattern over the next several days. You can see that heat dome is going to be sitting over the western half of the state in earnest today, tomorrow, before shifting a bit further west and weakening a tad bit into the Four Corner region of the western United States. As that happens over the weekend, we see that increased chance for maybe a few storms. And then as we get into next week, heat dome returns, and our rain chances, as low as they may be, diminish even further. Now, tropics. We have a system of interest over Puerto Rico this morning. Compared to the last few days, we haven't seen any development yet. That was expected. The disturbance is further south than what it looked like it was going to be. Notice it's over the southern sides of Puerto Rico. If you had watched our video yesterday or 2 days ago, we expected this would stay north of Puerto Rico, so that has resulted in a southwest shift in the forecast guidance as we head over the next 4 to 7 days, which has brought the eastern Gulf of Mexico back into play with this system. Now, what are we talking about in terms of development? Well, there is a 60% probability this becomes at least a tropical depression over the weekend into next week. But with the southward shift in its initial position and subsequent southwestern shift down the road, this is probably going to be moving over, Hispaniola, Cuba, the mountains, which is really going to probably put a limit on the development, especially in the short term, if it even develops at all. But after that, yeah, it does look like this could end up on the Gulf side of Florida. And from there, eventually, yes, we would expect a turn to the north. Where that happens, to be determined, but that definitely means those of you along the Alabama Gulf Coast, the Florida Panhandle, Florida as a whole, should continue to monitor the progress of the system as we head into next week at the least. It looks like this could be one of these systems that tries to slow down and stall out sometime next week, which would bring a lot of rain to portions of Florida if it happened. As we continue to monitor the forecast, we'll keep you updated. But again, at this point, this does not look like a Texas issue. Still does not look like a Texas issue. Though those of you in the eastern Gulf of Mexico, keep an eye on it. Temperatures over the next several days. Well, it's hot. Today, we're looking at 102 Amarillo, 105 in Childress, Vernon, 104 in Wichita Falls, 102 to 103 in DFW, 97 in Texarkana, about 96 Tyler, Marshall, down towards Lufkin, 94 in Beaumont, 95 to 96 in Houston, about 94 in Victoria, in Corpus Christi, 93 in Brownsville, 98 in McAllen, 101 to 102 from Laredo up to Del Rio, looking at about 95 to 96 in Alpine and Marfa, 101 in El Paso. Tomorrow, ouch, 105 in DFW, 106 in Wichita Falls, 107 in Vernon, 104 in Abilene to Sweetwater, about 100 in Odessa, Midland, 101 in El Paso, 102 in Lubbock, 100 San Antonio, 100 to 101 Austin up towards Waco, 98 in Houston, 95 in Corpus Christi, 93 to 98 Brownsville over to McAllen. As we head into Saturday, even with that boundary in place, maybe a couple of storms. Again, it's still going to get up into the triple digits, it looks like, across North Texas, the Big Country, the Concho Valley, the Hill Country, Central Texas, South Central Texas, the Edwards Plateau, down to the Rio Grande Plains, even parts of the Brazos Valley, the Permian Basin, the Trans-Pecos, out into the borderland of far west Texas. So what you'd expect for the month of August. But again, at the same time, we're not looking at, 110 to 115 degrees on a widespread scale. It's warm, but we're not talking record heat. So we get into Sunday, maybe a couple degrees cooler. I say a couple of degrees. It's still going to be hot. We're looking at 90s to triple digits across the state. But you know what? Maybe it'll be closer to, say, 100 to 101 versus 104 to 105. I know. Such a big difference we're talking about here, right? Monday of next week, heat dome starts to rebuild in over the state. Rain chances go bye-bye. Triple digits and 90s. It's summer in August, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be hot unless you're getting hit by a hurricane. And we're not getting hit by a hurricane on Monday, or hopefully at all next week. That'll be it for your Texas Weather Roundup on this Thursday. As always, you can get your local weather forecast, interactive weather radar, daily Texas Weather Roundups, and more in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. And you can also find us here on YouTube, Texas Weather Center. Thanks for the feedback, good and bad. We appreciate the thumbs. And of course, if you enjoy our content, be sure to hit that subscribe button to get notified when we publish updates for your Texas weather. Y'all make it a great Thursday. We'll have the next Texas Weather Roundup out bright and early on Friday. We'll keep an eye on the system moving towards the eastern Gulf of Mexico. We'll keep an eye on the storms this evening up in the Panhandle as well. Remember, when thunder roars, go indoors. We'll keep an eye on things and chat with y'all later. Have a great Thursday. Stay cool. God bless.